Okay, moving on. Question number 3 comes in from Iain. Hi there, Iain. Thank you for being part of the amazing WiggyWam community. Iain's question is, my partner and I currently live on a very desirable street where properties rarely come up for sale. We've looked at old sales listings dating back to 2014 and 15 and have found some lovely flats and their sales prices online via Google. We know we could offer significantly more than they paid for the property to help them make a profit, and we're wondering if it's appropriate to send a letter to each flat. We are aware that people do this a lot for houses. However, with flats being inside a block with no readily accessible letterbox bar knowing the address, we are worried this may come across as inappropriate. Any thoughts on this would be much appreciated. Okay, well, thank you for the question, Iain. It is something that seems quite an interesting project for you if you're looking for, I presume, what would be buy-to-let properties. And obviously, you know the area, you live in the area, they're going to be close by. You're probably going to want to be these. If you're a sort of new investor, you kind of want the mindset of, I know where the property is, it's only down the road from me. I can walk past it every single day to make sure it's still there, right? That tends to be the sort of mindset that investors go through when they buy their first property. But to answer your question, there is nothing to stop you doing leaflet drops to these particular properties. Obviously, gaining access to the block may be a bit of a problem. And there's a couple of things you can do if you want to be a little bit more astute. One is sometimes on these doors to these blocks of flats, they will have a tradesman's buzzer on the door where you can press the buzzer, and it usually opens once every 24-hour period to let people in. It's a bit naughty. I'm telling that, Iain, as a bit of a sort of sneak preview as to some of the things that we have done in the past as property investors to get you into the block. Sometimes we've bought properties in blocks where we've turned up, we haven't got the fob to let us in for whatever reason, and the tradesman button actually lets you into the building. So that is something you could do, and you could put mail shots in each of the letterboxes, a printed leaflet or something of that nature, that lets people know that you're looking to buy properties in the area. Now, a couple of things I am going to say on this, Iain, because we've had quite a bit of experience of this over the years. Anybody who's looking to sell a property, if they get a leaflet through the door, they will usually prefer to sell it to a homeowner or somebody who's going to live in it as a home rather than actually to an investor. I think it's just human nature. It is the way things are. I think a lot of people seem to think that investors are greedy for whatever reason, or they get turned off by the idea that it's going to be bought and then rented out. So that's something to bear in mind. The other thing that you want to think about is that you have to be committed to sending these letters or leaflets over a longer time period rather than just doing one leaflet drop and hoping that leads to you buying a property. I can tell you that on deals that we've done over the years, where you do a leaflet drop, you've got to do at least 7 before people start to realize actually they'll start to reach out and respond to your leaflet drop. It's very rare that you'll do one leaflet drop and you'll hit on the right person who's just thinking of selling their property at that moment in time. And it may well be that you do a leaflet drop and somebody rings you up and says, oh yeah, how much will you offer me for my house? And you go, oh, well, it's X. And they go, yeah, okay, thanks, but not interested. And they put the phone down, and all of a sudden you've got, okay, an entire period now where they might chew that over for 3 months, 6 months. You never know what's going on in the background in somebody's life. And as a consequence, you could be, 6 months down the line before they even think about engaging again in another conversation to talk about actually selling the property. Okay. So those are a couple of things that you can do. One of the things that we've done previously with leaflets is that leaflets can be quickly filed in the bin with people because they think, well, I'm not interested in that. Everybody's very busy, right? So they go and pick up their post, they see the leaflet, they quickly file it in the bin, and the opportunity is lost. So one of the creative things that we used to do was to screw up the leaflet a little bit and put it into the letterbox, because the psychology is when somebody comes to the door to pick up their post, they're going to see the screwed up ball of paper. And of course, what does human psychology do? You're naturally curious, so you have to unfold the piece of paper to have a look, right? Just see if there's anything interesting written on it. And that's how you kind of get a little bit more of the attention of the homeowner. It's a bit of a trick, but it's whether or not you want to do that is entirely up to you. But what I would do, Iain, if I was in your position, is I would actually employ one or two good estate agents to flush out deals for you. And not every estate agent will do this, but there might be one or two in your area that you can go to and say, look, this is my criteria. I'm looking for properties in this particular road or this row, and I will pay you a fee if you find me one or two of these properties. Okay. Now, in the psychology of the estate agent, well, hang on a minute, I'm opening the door here to potentially some more business where I've got somebody who will buy a property and will pay me a fee for doing so, and will potentially rent that property out through me as well. So all of a sudden, you can start to see that makes a big difference to their business. And they have the opportunity where not only can they put an advert on the internet, or they could put an advert in the local paper or in their shop window saying that we've got, Mr. I from wherever you are, Iain, looking for properties in this area. That can start to invite inquiries through a third party. And the reason I say this is important, Iain, is because when buyers and sellers start to interact, you've got to understand that most buyers and sellers aren't really familiar with the house buying and selling process. And so what tends to happen is there is, because the house buying and selling process is so fraught with complications, people can fall out very, very quickly. And this is why a good estate agent is worth their weight in gold, because they can help you navigate the entire process, without everybody getting frustrated and telling one another to F off and, the deal falling apart, because that is what happens. It's human nature. People get frustrated, the friction starts, and then everything falls apart. Okay. So a good estate agent will help keep that deal together through to completion so that you can execute the purchase of the property. Okay, so that would be a really good place to start, because you're sort of, again, paying away the pain. You're putting the work across to them so that they can earn money from doing the legwork for you. And the other thing to bear in mind about employing a good agent, Iain, is that there is a likelihood that they may have been to see one of these properties that you're looking at, and have may already had a conversation with the sellers or the homeowners, and they're thinking about selling at some point in the future. Now, it might be that a call from the agent that says, actually, we've got an investor who's looking to buy in that area. We've got somebody who's looking to buy a property in that area. They're very keen. They're cash. They can move quickly. Shall we arrange to show them round? That could be just a phone call that's needed as a warm introduction, rather than just a leaflet drop that gets you through the door and allows you to buy that property. Okay. So what I would do right now, Iain, if I was you, I'd go to our website, which is wiggywam.co.uk/learn, LEARN, learn, and grab a copy of the hunting brief template. Okay, it's the hunting brief template. It's under the learn section there. And you can fill that out as a template and take that to the estate agents to give them a comprehensive list of exactly what it is you're looking for. Properties of this type, this is our max budget, this is exactly where we want to buy them. It sounds like you've got one or two streets where you actually just want to buy properties in that area, which is fine. And then you can give that as a comprehensive list to the estate agents that you're looking for. Yes, you're going to pay a fee for their work, but we always had a saying as property investors that the deal pays. And what that means is, if you're buying the property through the agent, you're hopefully getting it at a better price than you would necessarily if it came on the open market and you were competing against two or three other potential buyers. And so the deal pays. If you're paying a $2,000, $3,000 commission to an estate agent, that's fine. But you're at the head of the queue for buying the property and not having to compete against other people. Okay. So I would grab yourself your hunting brief template. If you want to know more about this sort of activity, Iain, and how to get ahead of the queue, I'm going to encourage you to read a copy of Home Buyer Secrets as well, because I put all of the knowledge and information from many, many years of trudging the streets and buying properties in our local area, and sort of tactics such as these that I've just outlined to help you get the right deal at the right price. Okay, so read a copy of Home Buyer Secrets. That's well worth a look at. If you go to homebuyersecrets.co.uk, again, you can grab a copy of that. All right. So wish you the best of luck with that, Iain. I hope you find some good estate agents to help you out there as well, because I'm sure that they will flush you out a good deal or two. Have a look on the WiggyWam website as well, because there may well be one or two agents in your local area there that you can be recommended to have a conversation with them, and hopefully there's a match made in heaven. All right. So good luck with that, Iain. Let us know if you need any further help, and we'd be delighted to help you out where we can. All right. Thanks for the question. And I just want to say, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for all the amazing questions that we've had in this week. There's been some quite challenging ones to deal with there, and I really enjoy this kind of process. I apologize if I've got on my soapbox a little bit this week, but I do get passionate about the issues I see in the industry, and I do get passionate about delivering best value for buyers and sellers in the industry, because ultimately, they're our paymasters, and they're the peoples that we really want to start looking after. So thank you for joining me again on another amazing webinar. We're here every week doing this, and it's an absolute pleasure and delight to do so. You can send your questions in to us through any one of the following methods. You can go to our website, which is wiggywam.co.uk. That's wiggywam.co.uk. You can set yourself a profile up there. You can explore our learning centre and our broadcast section there. And you can send us messages directly to, myself, if you like, and send us in those questions, or to my colleague and co-founder, Chris. You can send them in via email, which is happytohelp@wiggywam.co.uk. That's happytohelp@wiggywam.co.uk. You can send your questions in via that. You can also find us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is @WiggyWam_UK. So that's @WiggyWam_UK. And feel free to DM us your questions on Twitter. As I say, we're here every week. We're delighted to have you with us this week, and hopefully we'll see you on future webinars. Please do consider liking, sharing, subscribing to our channel, and also to share this video with your friends and family and your wider network. There are about 1 million people a year who need more help and support in moving, and have millions of questions, I'm sure, that need answering. So it's our delight and pleasure to provide that information to them. We're building up a huge knowledge database now of all of these questions that we've done over the course of the last 21 weeks. So hopefully somewhere in there, there's some pearls of wisdom that you can share with your friends and family. And we look forward to seeing you again on a future webinar very soon. Thanks for your attention, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for your time, and good luck. God bless, and see you very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.